divorce.
Oh. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Recapping the Bible.
Today, we're going to be talking about Matthew 5:17 through 48.
Which is when Jesus offered 6 antitheses to the people about what they believed about the law and what the true interpretation was. So he used this in the format by saying, "You have heard it said, but I say to you," and then he offered the true, accurate interpretation of what the law really meant.
Facts.
First thing Jesus says is, "You have heard it said, do not murder your brother." But Jesus said, "I tell you, don't even be angry with your brother or hate him." A real life example of this today is if you went to school with someone and you hated them so much and you always talked to them and you're like, "You idiot, you fool," and you said that with hate in your heart, in God's eyes, you have committed murder.
The next thing Jesus talks about is adultery. He says that you have heard it said, don't commit adultery. But Jesus says that even if you look at a woman or a man with lust while you are with someone else, you're committing adultery. A real life example of this is if somebody has a girlfriend or boyfriend or a husband or a wife and they go and they're like, that insert chosen pronouns is really attractive. Like that's really hot. Like I want to like hug them intensely. Then that's also committing adultery.
The next thing Jesus talks about is divorce. He says, "You've heard it that if the husband wants to divorce his wife, then you have to give her a certificate of divorce. But Jesus says that if you divorce your wife for a non-sexual immoral reason, then you are committing adultery." An example of this today is, let's say a husband and wife are constantly fighting verbally about things that just don't really matter, and they decide to get a divorce for that because that is technically adultery in Jesus' eyes.
The next thing Jesus talks about is oaths. He says, "You have heard it said, do not break your oaths, but to fulfill it to the Lord." But Jesus says, do not even swear on the Lord at all, because most people don't even fulfill their oaths. So basically, you're just lying and being untrustworthy and swearing on God's name, which is not cool, guys. A real life example of this is if one of your friends, they say all the time, "Oh, I swear on God that I will pay you back this time," and they never pay you back. Number one, they're invoking God's name for something that doesn't even involve God at all, and they're lying to you because they never ever pay you back.
Jesus also talks about eye for eye. For you have heard it said, an eye for an eye, tooth for tooth. But Jesus says that if somebody slaps you, turn the other cheek and let them slap the other one. Don't fight back. A real life example of this is if somebody at school hits you or punches you or is really mean to you, you basically say, "Hey, I don't agree with you, but you can keep doing that if you want to, if you feel like that." You don't fight back and you don't punch them back, but instead you show the love of Christ and be kind to them.
The last thing Jesus talks about is loving your enemies. He says, "You've heard it said to love your enemies, love your neighbors, but hate your enemies." But Jesus says you should love everyone, your neighbors and your enemies. A real life example of this is, let's say there's someone at your school that's kind of a bully to you and y'all don't really get along and y'all would be considered enemies. Jesus says to love them because maybe they need love and maybe they're just like sad.
Okay, here we go.
Elum, Elam, Elud, Elos, no. Elo, Elah, Elo, and then Eli, Eli, Elah, Elorum, Elarum, Elorum, Elise, Elise, Elise.
Skit time!
You have heard it said, do not murder.
Hey, Hallie. Oh, hey, Carolina. Take that.
Sit down.
I'm sad.
But I say, don't even hate your neighbor, because that is murder in God's eyes.
Oh my gosh, she's always standing for my walker. Can y'all please move?
No, the kids, so...
Move, guys. I hate y'all so much. Y'all are so rude.
What's her problem?
You've heard it said, do not commit adultery.
I just love you so much.
I'm going to the restroom. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Hey there, cutie.
Hey.
Excuse me, what's happening?
But I say to you,
do not even look at a woman lustfully.
You have heard it said, give your wife a certificate of divorce. Honey, why did you put my shoes in the wrong spot?
You left them in the middle of the living room.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
Well, you put them in the wrong spot.
I'm trying to help you out.
Fine. I want a divorce. But I say, don't divorce your wife for any reason but sexual immorality. You put my shoe in the wrong place.
I'm sorry, you said it in the living room. I was trying to help you out.
Oh, I'm sorry. I won't put that in the living room anymore.
Thank you.
You have heard it said, do not break your oath, but fulfill it to the Lord.
Hey, I swore on God's name that I would return your ID to you. So, here you go. Thanks.
But I say to you, do not swear an oath at all, either by heaven, for it is God's throne.
I know I said I'd give you my ID back, but I didn't swear or make any promises, so, you know. Bye.
That's not how that works.
You've heard it said, eye for eye and tooth for tooth. But I say, do not resist an evil person. If someone slaps you on the right cheek, turn the other cheek.
Why didn't you fight back?
Because Jesus said not to.
You've heard it said, love your neighbor, hate your enemy.
Hey, stupid. Hey, no one likes you. You're horrible. You're
Shut
an
up.
idiot.
No one likes you either.
But I tell you, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you.
Hey, idiot. Hey, no one likes you. You're gonna die alone. You're horrible. You're ugly. You're stupid.
Hey, I might not like you. I don't agree with your actions, but Jesus loves you, so I do too.
That was recapping the Bible. Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification button.
I hope you enjoyed the video.
Bye. I'm a man, doing my manly duties, protecting the weak. The weak.
Said, you have heard it said to
To don't make the oath.
Yeah, because then you're gonna lie.
Wait,
You're gonna break your promise. And then you're gonna
Don't
see
do it.
Don't do it.
it said to love your enemies but hate your neighbors.
You've heard it. Okay. Could it with Paige crawling behind me? Come on.